Welcome back. You're watching Who Wants to Be a Scene Kid? My name's Mikey, and this is To All the Crowd Rooms. Today's a special one because we have my cousin, Marky Capicotto from Glamour Kills on the show. Marky, what's up, man?
Hello, Mikey. How are you, my good man?
I am great. I'm so stoked to have you on because you've clothed tons of scene bands back in the day, and I'm really curious to test your knowledge on how well you know interesting facts about them.
I'm a bit of a scene kid myself. Some may say I'm the ultimate scene kid. I birthed the neon era. People curse my name for it.
You know, do you know what's crazy? You did. I like to see Glamour Kills as you birthed the neon era, and then the pop punk 2.0, I like to call it, the Tumblr core era.
Yeah, sure.
You did the rebrand, and then you clothed them too.
Yeah, we roll. You know, like with anything, like you roll with the times, and like, hey, like the neon era was its own era, and it was cool. And like, I remember like, oh man, people would just make fun of, like, if you wore Glamour Kills, like you were that kid. You know what I mean? But like, I love those kids. People were like, yo. It doesn't matter. I love the neon era. It's so reminiscent of like, oh man, I don't know. I just think of like the Cobra Starship bands and We the Kings and all that. Like,
what's the overall, like, when people go, oh, I remember Glamour Kills? What's the reception to like when people like have flashbacks to that era?
I always get, oh, the Flying Pig brand. That was you, right? And I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? But. Yeah, I mean, we're so synonymous with that era, you know what I mean? Like, All Time Low, Boys Like Girls, like that, like Cartel, all of them, like that was, you know, if you were in a scene band then, like, you were wearing GK.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
and it was
for
such
sure.
That was such a cool time in my life, because, like, I didn't grow up necessarily listening to those bands, but I grew up listening to, like, the precursors of those bands. So like I later became friends with, like, it was such an organic thing that like we would sponsor these bands and like we'd have so much in common of like our love for like Blink-182 and like all those other bands that like were heavy influences for them were heavy influences for me when I started designing and stuff. So
that's sick. Was there any of those like precursor bands that like were bucket list bands that you ended up sponsoring?
So kind of not. We never really sponsored them, but Say Anything. Okay. Like we used to hook up Max with stuff, and I remember like just seeing a photo of him wearing GK. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." And like later, like Saves a Day would wear our stuff. I can't think off the top of my head. The last GK tour before GK went away, Newfound Glory headlined. And that was a big deal too.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was a really big deal. That was like, I was like, holy shit. Like,
the OG pop punk. Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to you guys in high school. You're wearing your stuff. This is crazy.
Dude, that's sick. So from the neon era, who was your favorite band out of like that era?
Oh, shit. I mean, I'm going to say All Time Low, but I don't want to just label them as like that neon era band, because they're still kicking. And not only are they kicking, they're probably more popular than they've ever been. You know what I mean? They were on the top of the alternative charts forever. Like, it's surreal. And they're putting out awesome music.
Dude,
it's different.
It's insane.
It's awesome music.
Yeah, I know that, like, no shade that you're not like too hip with like modern music, really. As far as like mainstream goes, but what do you think of like the new All Time Low like music? Because they are putting that modern twist on their old sound.
It's adapting with the times. You know what I mean? Like they're coming out with new ways to like. They're not writing the same record that they were writing back in 2006. You know, and I think. I remember being of a certain age where, and Brand New is really the only band I could think of that changed their sound drastically, that I didn't hate them for doing it. You know what I mean? Like I remember like Matchbook Romance, they put out their first record on Epitaph, and it was awesome. I think it was called Stories and Alibis. And then they put out this like muse rock kind of record called Monsters, and it was so different. And I was like, yo, screw this. I was like, I want pop punk, Matchbook Romance back. But All Time Low, like, it's been an evolution, and I think part of them being successful too is them having a real fan base. Like, they've grown. Organic sounds like people overuse that word so much, but like they've always had real diehard loyal fans and real music. You know what I mean? Fans, I think, always really identified with like the lyrics and stuff like that. And Alex writes all the songs. It's like, even though it sounds different, you know it's All Time Low. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, also, while I have you naming your favorite bands, from the GK 2.0 era, like the Tumblecore, like 2000, I want to say like 2012 to 2015. What was your favorite band from that era?
They're still my favorite band, the Wonder Years.
Oh, fuck yeah. I knew that.
I've gotten to know those guys, so like I personally love those dudes. And I like the first time, like I was introduced to their music early on. Like I heard about them and I was like, oh yeah, the band with the bird mascot. I was like, okay, cool. And then like, well, I forget who was playing them. I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, it's that band The Wonder Years. I was like, this is fucking awesome. What? And like ever since then, like
what was the first album that you heard from them?
The Upsides.
Okay, so it wasn't the Get Stoked on It.
No, it wasn't. It's kind of like getting into Blink-182 for Buddha or Enema of the State, and then later learning that like Cheshire Cat and did I say Buddha? I meant Dude Ranch. I said that before. But anyway, Buddha or Cheshire Cat, you know what I mean? So I wasn't super early adapter on the Wonder Years by any means. Like it was the Upsides that I was like, ooh, I like this band a lot.
I think that's the case for a lot of people too. But fun fact about us being cousins, I don't know if you remember this, but I mean, it means a lot to me. Growing up, I grew up on the Now That's What I Call Music CDs. Like, that's what I was listening to as a kid. And I stayed a weekend over Aunt Debbie's house, and I'd crash. My mom. Yeah, your mom. And I'd crash in your room, and before I left, you gave me Enema of the State. And
really?
Yeah, and it was the actual CD, and it was funny because my dad would say, yeah, Marky's a smart kid. He burns CDs and sells them at school. He's a good hustler. But you actually gave me the CD, and I still have it to this day. And the car ride home, I listened to it on my Walkman, learned every single curse word, and it's just good memories.
Oh my God. Mikey, I'm so honored for ruining your life. No, I really, that's cool. I had no idea that I was your gateway drug into.
You were into pop punk.
This kind of music.
Absolutely. Cool. And then even like, we'll get into it into the actual interview, but let's get into the game.
Okay. All right, cool.
You ready for question 1?
I'm gonna sip my beer and get ready.
All right. You're going to get this one, but I want to talk about it.
Okay.
With Abandon is the side project of the frontman of what band? Is it A, Thieves and Villains, B, Just Surrender, C, Hit the Lights, or D, With the Punches?
Oh my God. That's funny because I just did their album artwork. Shit. I know you said this is an easy one, and now I'm like overthinking it in my head.
The people I put in there, I made it kind of tricky.
Okay, With Abandon. It's not Hit the Lights because that was that's Thief Club. Shit. Okay, it's Just Surrender. Just Surrender is my final answer.
And that's correct. So that album was actually a split.
Yep. Yes.
And the frontman, what's his name? Jason.
Jay Mafucci.
Yeah.
Jay.
That's his new project, right?
Yep, with Abandon.
And then, what was the other band? Thief Club?
Thief Club, yeah.
That's the lead singer of Hit the Lights' new project, and they did a split together. Do you know how that came about, by any chance?
So, I've known Jay for a very long time, and I've known Nick a very long time. I know... So, I don't know the history behind how they got together to do the split. I just know one night I'm sitting on my couch, and I get a text from Jay Muff. I'm going to refer to him as Muff. That's his nickname. And he texted me. He's like, hey, man. And I hadn't talked to him in a couple years. And he was like, are you still making art? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, would you make a split for me and Nick's, or artwork for a split that me and Nick are doing? I was like, sure. And, knowing the Hit the Lights dudes forever and Just Surrender, like those are like OG GK bands, like some of the earliest supporters of ours. So they just hit me up to do the album or to do the album artwork, and that was really it. I don't know how they really came together to do it. I know there's a Smashing Pumpkins cover by each band on there. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, do you know what's funny about both those bands? Skip School, Start Fights, and If These Streets Could Talk, I believe the album's called. Mm-hmm. Both of them look exactly like Glamour Kills artwork.
Skip School, Start Fights. So I didn't do the artwork for that, but that definitely, when it came out, I was like, all right. Whatever. So what was funny is that they wanted to do a pre-order with us we were really one of the first like clothing companies or like companies that weren't a record label that were doing pre-orders where you got like a Glamour Kills Hit the Lights shirt that you could only get this Glamour Kills shirt if you bought the Hit the Lights record from GK. And the Just Surrender one, I didn't do that art either, but again, I can see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know what's actually funny is the shirt that you're wearing was one of the earliest, like, I've always had, like, it was called the scribble design, so, like, I've used that in different forms. And I'll never forget, it was, like, right when Twitter first started, and Paramore had just had Riot come out, and she later saw that shirt, and she retweeted it saying how we were ripping off the Riot album cover, and I was like, no. And like, I have such a smaller voice than Haley Williams does. I'm like, no. I was like, I did that before you. I was like, please stop bullying me. Like, don't do this. I was like, please don't do this.
Dude, I never made that comparison before.
Yeah, she did, and we caught some shit. I was like trying to reach out to like mutual people that like I may know that can like get to her and be like, like, please explain to her I didn't rip off them. And I didn't even think it was, when they came out with Riot, they had like thicker scripts and like, it's not like the idea of like, it's supposed to look like chalkboard graffiti.
Right.
I mean? So like
you're drawing on a school desk or some shit like.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I didn't think they ripped us off, and whatever. And
damn.
Anyway, and Paramore's like worn our stuff before. Haley has, but I don't think she knew it was
Glamour
what
Kills.
She was wearing. You know what I mean? Like she was given clothes.
Yeah. So how did it resolve? Did she end up contacting you or?
No, I think I don't know if that tweet ever got deleted or not, but there was never any ill will after that. Like I remember like frantically responding to like kids that were saying, "Oh, Glamour Kills, how could you?" Blah blah blah, and then other kids were defending us, like saying, like, "No, they've had that," and that was like my first like experience with like really negative, like holy shit, like you always get trolls and shit like saying, "Yo, your fucking shit's garbage," blah blah blah, but this is like. Haley
plagiarism
Williams said something.
Yeah, Haley Williams saying plagiarism or some shit.
Yeah, so it blew over, and I think either got taken down or it just died out. You know what I mean?
Do you know what's funny? A lot of the people that were talking shit on Twitter when I worked that summer internship for you, a lot of the people were saying, your stuff's too expensive. Well, guess what? Fast merch became a thing, and now Glamour Kills doesn't exist, so hope you're happy.
Oh my God. That could be a conversation I could talk hours about that whole industry, and
we'll get
now
into
you got
it.
Your cheap shit.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next question. Which one of these bands did not change their original lead vocalist? Is it A, Hit the Lights, B, Chiodos, C, The Main, or D, Major League?
Okay. Well, it's definitely not Chiodos. And it's definitely not Hit the Lights. Major League, I've only ever known them to have one singer. But I've known The Main since they were a band. So, and John O has been the only singer I've known. So I'm going to say The Main is my final answer.
Feel good about that?
Oh my. Now I don't. Yes, I feel good about that answer. Oh, wait. Did John join The Main after the fact? Hold on. Shit, John might not have been the originally in the band. All right, going Major League. Done. Final answer.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, go with the Major League. And Major League. If it is The Main, I'm gonna go jump out a window.
Marky, that's wrong. You were right with The Main.
You got in my head.
I just filled in your ass. R.I.P.
Shit. I'm not even gonna win a prize, and it was nerve-wracking.
So do you know?
Shit.
So do you know what's funny? The summer internship I worked for you, the announcement of the original singer of Major League left the band, and I remember specifically being on the computer and reading the AP article.
Shit.
Yeah,
I should have stuck with The Main. I was like, shit, I don't really know the guys in Major League. I was like, maybe.
Yo, and shout out Hit the Lights though, because their OG vocalist was fucking sick. Colin Ross. I don't know if did you listen to that era? That first album? Yeah. That first album's fucking amazing. It's pop punk gold.
It really is. And I do, like, Nick later took, at first it was weird that Nick did it, but then when you hear, like, I think Skip School's the first record he vocaled. I was like, he's a very good replacement for Colin. Like, this is...
He stepped up as, like, a band member and just killed it.
Yeah.
There's actually...
It was awkward.
What were you going to say?
Sorry, I got a moth in here. It was awkward because I remember seeing them at some of their first live shows where it was just Nick. And you can definitely tell he was, like, adjusting to being a frontman on the fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he did good. He later owned it.
There's actually, right before Colin quit the band, there's a recording of Colin singing Drop the Girl. And to me, just hearing that, I'm just like, what could have been if he stayed in the band?
I know.
All right, let's get to the next.
I think they remain friends. Damn, I'm so embarrassed. I should have just stuck with the Main. I'm still saying I got it. That was my first answer.
Dude, I got inside your head.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3, Marky.
Okay.
What is the name of the band who is fronted by Chris Connolly of Saves the Day and Max Bemis of Say Anything? Is it A, The Painful Splits, B, Zoloft the Rock and Roll Destroyer, C, Further Seems Forever, or D, Two Tongues?
This one. I know this one. It is not Further Seems Forever. No. That would have been a good question, or a good answer for the vocalist. Not Zoloft the Rock and Roll Destroyer. I really appreciate that reference because I love that band. But no, it is Two Tongues is the final answer.
Yep, that's right.
Yes.
I knew you were going to get that as soon as you said that you're a big Max Bemis fan. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So when that record came out, did Two Tongues do another album?
Yeah.
Or did they just do the one? They did? Okay. Yeah, I was so hyped when they announced that Chris and Max were doing a band together. I was like, okay, both are two weird-ass dudes. They're going to make something cool.
Right?
Like, yeah. And I didn't listen to anything after the first record.
Dude.
Granted, I listen to podcasts now all day. I'm old. I'm an old guy.
Dude, the second record sounds like they recorded the whole thing off a cell phone.
Oh, really?
It's really bad quality, but you can make out good songs from it, which is weird.
I like mono lo-fi shit, so maybe I should check that out then.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. Man, cool. That was believe it or not, that was the easiest question so far for me.
Okay. All right.
It really was.
Question 4. In 2011, who was Jack Barricat's ex-girlfriend? A. Paris Hilton. B. Holly Madison. C. Hannah Beth. Or D. Ashley Simpson.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. I hate that I know this. And what's fucking so weird. Oh my God. I hope Jack writes a book on his life one day because I'll never forget, like, because I'm super close with the All Time Low dude. So like, I think I was in LA. So I'm going to tell this story and then just say the answer. And I was in LA and they happened to be on tour and I was like, oh, I'm going to go see you guys. So I went, I'm backstage and I'm walking into their dressing room and then all of a sudden I just see this like beautiful blonde girl sitting there and I'm like, oh. And then I realized like, oh my God, you're on that show, The Girls
The Girls Next Door or whatever.
Is that, yeah, whatever the Playboy show was.
Yeah.
I was like, you were married to Hugh Hefner. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? But I had heard that, before that Jack was dating Holly Madison, is my answer. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't, because I see, like, Vinny Vegas and all the other crew guys that I know that have been with All Time Low forever. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like you're like legit. Okay, you're not an A-list celebrity. I shouldn't say that. That's
B-list.
Yeah.
If you're on E, what does that make you?
An E-list celebrity.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh my God,
that's funny.
I hate that I know that, and I was like, shit. When you first said it, I was like, oh shit. Like, did he date Hannah Beth? Did he date? I don't know. Maybe he did. Shit.
Well,
but no. Holly Madison was my final answer.
What? I remember you at one point you had a collab with Jack. How did that come about? Because like I remember there were boner shirts and stuff.
So we. We would do collab shirts with bands a lot. Like, we would do, like, an All Time Low GK shirt. We would do, like, a 4 Year Strong GK shirt. And Jack, he hit me up and wanted to do shirts that just said, like, boner on it. And I was like, okay, we can't, like, because at this point we're selling, we got our shit in stores and malls. I was like, I don't know if I want to put the word boner on like straight up Glamour Kills products, but like I knew Jack was like, he's like, they're gonna sell. He's like, people, I talk about boners all the time. People are gonna buy this, and I'm like, I trust that. So then we were like, all right, let's do a whole JAGK line where we basically replace the C in Jack and put a G there.
Yeah. Not
the most clever thing in the world, but hey, it worked. And the Jack JAGK line was born, and all because Jack wanted to put dirty words and the word boner and
did it do
shit
well?
On shirts. Yeah, it did really well.
Good.
It was one of our better. It sold because we only kept it exclusive on our web store. It was probably like whenever a new drop came, it was definitely a top seller for sure for us.
I'm trying to find, because Aunt Debbie, she would send me every Christmas just like a line of Glamour Kills, and one of the shirts I never got was the boner shirts, and I want to try to find it on eBay somewhere because I think it's hilarious.
Dude, if you found one, shit, now that I think of it, if I found one, I would wear that shirt around.
Right?
And just be ironic about it. Like, whatever. I made the shirt 10 years ago, but I made it.
For some reason, I think you just have like a room that has like every single shirt that you've ever made in it.
I really don't. You know what's funny is before we did this, I was like, should I wear a GK hoodie or like a GK t-shirt? Mm-hmm. I have one GK hoodie. Let me rephrase that. I have two. My mom found this Wonder Years collaboration hoodie we did.
Is the Wawa one?
It's the Wawa isn't a GK one. It's we did a hoodie. Fuck. The Greatest Generation, I want to say, was the album. We did like a pop-up store in Philly. We'll talk about that, but
no, I was there for it.
Yeah, you were there for it.
Yeah.
That was an awesome weekend. But it was a hoodie from that. So I have 3 GK things. I have a whole storage unit filled with GK memorabilia that like one day I want to go through and like maybe like auction or like do like something stupid over Twitter and give them away. I don't know.
Oh, that would be sick. You should at least take pictures of everything and just kind of like make like a page just for people to go through to reminisce.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. There's a skateboard in there, and the only reason I remember this because the storage unit's packed to the gills. But like we have a lot of skateboards. And the skateboard closest to the door, because I always see it, it's we had 4 Year Strong autograph some skateboards for a giveaway. Mm-hmm. And their lead singer Dan drew an enormous penis and drew boobs and all this stuff, and I was like, we can't give this away. Like, damn it. So yeah, that's mine forever.
Wow, amazing. You ready for the next one?
Yeah. What are we up to? 5? Is this the 5th?
We're already on 5. We're rolling through.
I'm a scene kid.
Yeah, you're getting them, man.
I'm halfway there to scenedom. Just scene power.
So, what was the name of Kyle Fassel of Real Friends' band before Real Friends?
Fuck.
Was it A, Show Me the Skyline, B, Crosstown Rivalry, C, The Fastest Kid Alive, or D, Sing It Loud?
This is Kyle from Real Friends?
Yeah.
Oh boy. You know what's funny is I did an album artwork for Kyle when he was in a band, but none of those names ring a bell. Like I did an album art for Kyle like pre-GK. Like he hit me up randomly like when he was still in high school. I was like, will you design for my band? And damn it. Shit, can you read them, list the names again?
Okay, so we got A, Show Me the Skyline, B, Crosstown Rivalry, C, The Fastest Kid Alive, or D, Sing It Loud. All of them sound like bands that he would be in, because he's definitely the most neon member of Real Friends.
Let's use my 50-50 here on this one.
Okay. So we got A, Show Me the Skyline, or C, The Fastest Kid Alive.
Fuck. That didn't help me. Should have left Sing It Loud in there. Kidding. Let's go with The Fastest Kid Alive.
Is that your final answer?
What was the other one?
Show Me the Skyline.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's go with the fastest kill alive.
Okay. You feel good about that?
Damn it. Yes.
Marky. You got it right.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
So they have this one song that's really good. It's called, I think it's called like Turn It to 11 or something. And it is a neon banger.
Okay.
And
okay.
I feel like they were like, they encompassed everything neon, but they just never took off.
I don't know anything about this band. And so it's funny, if you go into my mom's house, she has a scanned picture and of a check that it wasn't Kyle, it was a member of Kyle's band's parents wrote me from Chicago for doing artwork for their band. And years later, when I met Real Friends, Kyle came up to me and was like, "Hey, dude, do you ever remember doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I was in that band when I was in high school." And I was like, "Dude, that's so crazy." And then we started talking about the kid that was in his band that reached out to me to do the artwork.
Yeah.
And it was just this full circle thing. I'd have to ask my mom what the name of that band is, because she would know it. She's sitting in her living room.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure it's illegal to scan a check, Mom, just so you know.
That's funny. Dude, so with Real Friends, with Dan leaving Real Friends, and Real Friends, they've come out and said, we're still a band. We're like, but we're not going to give you any more information. I think I figured out who the new lead singer of Real Friends is.
Kyle?
No.
I don't know. I have no idea, by the way.
Okay.
So
I'm going to be the first person on video to say who the new singer of Real Friends is, and it's all from speculation, from Instagram creeping, from me being the Charlie Day meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think it's his name's Cody Moraro from the band Parting Ways, and he was in Youth Fountain. And I just want to be the first person to say it, because I see that he follows all those dudes, but he doesn't follow Real Friends. All of them follow him, and I just think that there's something there. And if you listen to his vocals, he would be a great singer for Real Friends. So,
okay, I'm unfamiliar with his work, but it seems like you have done some Charlie Day
investigation,
type investigating here.
I just wanted to say that. I had to get it off my chest.
Yeah, Dan, I like Dan. Dan was always a cool dude. But yeah, I mean, if your heart's not in music anymore and touring, you know, then like you got to do what's right for you.
Was that the reason why he left?
I mean, I haven't kept up. I remember seeing that he wasn't in the band. And I feel like that was the reason, because I know he got really into like gaming and Twitch and doing all that stuff. But I don't know.
I mean,
I'm so out of it.
Yeah, he's releasing music with his side project Rationale. So if anyone thinks that the rest of Real Friends aren't doing anything right now, I think you're mistaken. I think there's something cooking right now, and they're just gonna. It's gonna. All of a sudden, we're gonna find out all this news, and I think it's coming sooner than later. Sorry, you know, I'm a real. Know, I love Real Friends.
I'm aware.
You introduced me to him.
I love Real Friends too. They're an awesome band.
All right, okay. This next one, we're taking it back. All right, you want to get to the next John?
To the next Philly slang word, John. Yes.
All right. Marky. This person took Armor for Sleep under his wing as their manager when they first started.
Gabe Saporta.
You do that too easily. All right, explain.
I'm such an asshole. I
told you not to do that.
I want to hear what. I know. All
right,
this one.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say the answers. A. Richard Rhines. B. Pete Wentz. C. Gabe Saporta, or D, Steve Evans?
I'm gonna go with Pete Wentz. Not my final answer. No, it's definitely Gabe.
You know that Armor for
Gabe.
Sleep's my favorite band?
Really?
Yeah, actually,
I love that band.
The tattoo on my back was my first tattoo, and Aunt Debbie paid for it.
What?
Yeah, I went with her and Steve.
Wait, you got the silhouette of the man floating, right?
Yeah. What to do when you're dead.
Yep, that record's so good. That's a top 10 all time.
They just announced their, I guess it's 16. It was supposed to be their 15th anniversary tour, but with COVID, now it's the 16th. But they rescheduled the dates, so I'm hyped.
I will definitely go to that. That's cool. I remember like One Bamboozle, like GK, like it was cool. Like I feel really, God, this sounds so stupid. I feel really lucky that I got to do GK for 11, 12 years, whatever it was. But some of the coolest shit about it was getting to watch some of your favorite bands play. Like at Bamboozle or Warped Tour, like I had a pass where I could go backstage and like hang out and be it's called a stage potato, somebody that's not on the crew but just somebody that just sits there and watches a band.
Yeah.
And like I remember seeing Armor for Sleep like play to like thousands of people at Bamboozle one year, like standing side stage, and I'm like, oh my.
Oh wait,
God.
dude, that was their reunion show though. It was in 2013.
It was. Yep.
I was there. I remember GK had a huge tent there.
Dude, that was one of my favorite performances. This band Piebald, who's one of my favorite bands of all time, they reunited at Bamboozle a few years prior, and I didn't have a pass, but I was friends with Piebald's booking agent, and he was like, come. And I was like, okay. And I got to watch Piebald play their whole set in front of maybe 1,000 people. Dude, it was just so cool. Just getting to do shit like that and like seeing your favorite bands and like fucking like getting to watch the Wonder Years play like a sold out GK show at Webster Hall in New York City, it like blew my mind. You know what I mean? Like shit like that was just
Did you book those shows?
We never actually booked them. We had our own booking agency. My buddy Peanut,
Pickle and Peanut,
Jason. Fuck, I have another friend, Jason with a P, and I'm gonna fuck it up. And I haven't talked to Peanut forever. But anyway, we had an agency that represented us, and they would basically book our tours for us. And it would be like, I would talk to bands about, do you want to play our tour next year? Or they would say like, hey, we've got a band and a package. We think this would fit the tour. It was always a different... there was never one real way of how we set up the tours. It was always different.
Okay.
But we had an agency that actually like set up the dates and stuff.
Were you like the curator though to like the tours, like the person that's like kind of brings everyone together?
For the most part, like I'm trying to give an example of one of the tours. Like All Time Low, when they did our tour, they already had who they wanted support for it. Mm-hmm. So like we were like, cool, we work with those bands anyway, like let's just do it.
Yeah.
When Wonder Years headlined, we like talked to them about like who fit for the tour and stuff like that, who they wanted to take out. But mostly it was like whoever, we mainly picked who we wanted to headline, and then we let the headliners really pick who opened for them.
That makes sense though, because they're out on the road anyway, and they got to be out there with people they fuck with. So
yeah, exactly. We never forced anything. It was always like, yeah, like of course, like yeah, Man Overboard of course makes sense. Like bring Man Up. So,
shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Jersey's finest. Defend pop punk, all that stuff. I got stoned with those dudes once. I got way too high to walk outside and leave. I was in there, what are those black RVs called that everybody, the band van?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Those guys smoke. I don't know if they still smoke a lot of weed, but like they smoked a lot of weed then. And I was like, I thought I could hang, and I was like, nope, this is too much for me. I'm going outside and walking far away, getting some fresh air.
That's funny.
I don't know why I'm telling that story.
Well, Nick from Man Overboard, he's like, he helps out a lot of bands in our area because he's a sound engineer, and he
built his own studio not too long ago, right?
No, him and Ace Enders from the early November, they were together working together, and then Nick just recently left to a different studio, and he's been doing his thing now.
Interesting. Okay, I haven't kept too much in touch with him, but I know my good friend Vinny Vegas is still really good friends with Nick, and they talk a lot. So
hell yeah,
I get information through him in dribs and drabs.
Nice. Yeah, Nick's the man.
But yeah, Gabe Saporta. You know what's funny about this is that AbsolutePunk.net. Did you ever go on that website?
Yeah.
It was like the scene mecca. You got all the scene news there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was still in high school, I went to see Midtown play a show up in Albany, and Gabe had this huge Equal Vision Records sticker on the side of his bass amp. And I remember Midtown was feuding at the time with Drive Thru Records, and they fought to get off the label.
Yeah.
And people were speculating, like, where are they going to go? And I remember I submitted news to Absolute Punk when I got home. I was like, was at the show tonight with Midtown, blah, blah, blah. I saw a huge Equal Vision Records sticker on the side of, what's his name's bass, at Gabe's bass. And I think I took a photo and I sent it with it. And then they posted it on the main page, and they credited me as the source. And I was like, holy shit, like I screenshotted it. I was like, dude, I'm famous. I'm on Absolute Punk. And yeah, that was like my first, like, cool. Like I helped break some news, but I was so invested in that. And then so much came from that post that Gabe actually had to make an announcement saying that, no, we're not signing with Equal Vision Records. I just helped my friend's band, Armor for Sleep, sign with Equal Vision Records.
Oh, shit.
And that's why I had it on the side of my bass.
That's like, so cool.
And that's what made me realize, like, oh yeah, like, full circle, you asking me that question right now, it's like, well, actually, this is how I found out that he was helping Early November.
That's
or not Early November,
dope.
Armor. And then years later, I become very good friends with Gabe, and yeah, very weird. Gabe's been in my life for a long time in various different ways. It's fucking wild. So wild, actually.
Wait, so I have a question, because I asked this on a previous episode about Cobra Starship being... They started because of a peyote trip, but no one really knows if that's the actual story. It's been talked about, but do you know specifically if that's the facts?
I don't know. That was the bio. That's what Gabe put. And I know Gabe is a very spiritual guy, and he does dabble in the realm of psychedelics for getting clarity and perspective on things. Mm-hmm. So I've never asked him point blank if that's true or not.
But you wouldn't be surprised.
I do know. I wouldn't be surprised. No, he's invited me to take psychedelics with him before. Like, so I've never done it, but not with him. But you know, I would not be surprised at all. And yeah, Gabe is a trip. So who the hell knows? That's. Man, Cobra. So, yeah, Gabe, I went from being a huge Midtown fan to, like, sponsoring Cobra Starship and getting to know Gabe to Midtown reuniting years ago. I forget how long ago it was. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth. They reunited for a Bamboozle Festival. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, Gabe. I was like... Because GK was dabbling and like putting out records and stuff like that. Like we were helping out with various things. And I was like, yo, Gabe, let us film a documentary about your reunion. So we hired a crew to document Midtown's reunion. And we have like hundreds of hours of raw footage that has never gotten made into a documentary. Yeah.
Where does this exist? Do you have it?
I have it, yeah.
That's amazing.
I have so much random shit like that that's like, yo, I could do something with that one day. I should hit up Midtown and be like, see, so the whole thing is that we shot it, and then the people that edited it and cut it, I didn't like how it came out, and I don't think they necessarily liked how it came out, and we were like, all right, we're gonna have to go to somebody else to do it. And then that was really it with the Midtown reunion. So then it just kind of got shelved. You know what I mean? Like it just got forgotten about, and that's that. So maybe one day that'll see the light of day.
I hope so. That'd be sick because Midtown's so dope.
Yeah, Midtown's a shit. And to top it off with my relationship with Gabe on a professional level, when GK had to close, Gabe's wife's company was the company that bought Glamour Kills from me.
Oh, really?
Like Gabe was like, my wife owns a fashion label and she's expanding her portfolio of brands that are under her umbrella. Why not do this? So
he's so connected.
We did that.
It's ridiculous.
It's so crazy, and like I owe a lot to Gabe. So he's helped me out through my whole Glamour Kills and personal life too.
Wow.
I fucking love Midtown. All right.
Let's get to the next one. We got one about the Wonder Years. You ready for it?
Oh no! Is this question 6?
This is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7.
We're at 7. Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Don't forget, you have your phone a friend if you need help.
I have not forgotten.
All right. What was the name of the band several of the Wonder Years members were in before being in the Wonder Years? Was it A, The Premiere, B, Before Today, C, The June Spirit, or D, Farewell Unknown?
Fuck. Oh, this is a complete guess. I know it's not the June Spirit because I used to love that band, and I'm actually in a fantasy football league and pretty good friends with their old bass player.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if my friend's gonna know this. Shit. Okay. Read the first 2 off to me again.
A, The Premiere, or B, Before Today?
And what was D?
Farewell Unknown.
I really don't know, and I don't think my special guest will know. I'm going. Let's go with The Premiere. It sounds right.
Is that your final answer, Marky?
It is, yes. It's a stab in the dark, but it feels right.
It's a shame it's come to this. That's correct.
Yeah, right. No way. Oh, God. It felt right. Like, I was like,
So I did a little research, and it looks like they had 2 EPs, one being a winter sampler. You could find it on YouTube, but it seemed like it was heavily inspired by bands like Braid, like old emo, like Captain Jazz type of shit, and it's really cool. And honestly, it sounds more mature than Get Stoked on It era of the Wonder Years. So it's crazy to hear like their old stuff sounding a little bit more mature than when they started up the Wonder Years.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
We'll have to ask the Wonder Years that.
Yeah. Hit up Soupy about it. I run into Soupy every now and then and randomly in Philly, and I'll be like, hey, it's me, Marky's cousin. He's always super nice.
Yeah. He's one of the most genuinely nice human beings on earth. It means well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Number 8.
The food, not the human.
Oh,
no,
wait.
I love both.
I got a funny story. I tried fucking with him at the pop-up shop. When you did the collab, the GK Wonder Years pop-up shop, I was like, Hey, Soupy.
Yeah.
So I hear that they call you Soupy because you really like to eat soup on tour. And he's just like, no. No, it's because my last name's Campbell. Like, you know, like Campbell, like chicken noodle soup. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
What?
I was just like, I don't get it.
What?
I was like, I don't get it. I don't know.
Dude.
And he was just completely thrown off by it.
Dude, that's a high level of messing with somebody, because I love awkward shit like that. Where, like, you don't know what Campbell soup is?
It's like,
how are you not getting this, person?
no, I'd never heard of it. Sorry.
Campbell soup.
Weird nickname. Sorry.
Weird. So you don't eat soup?
You don't eat soup on tour? I thought it was cost effective.
Guess not. Well, SpaghettiOs it is tonight.
Yep.
No soup.
All right, number 8. We got a Pete Wentz question.
Oh boy. Let's go.
What was the name of Pete Wentz's straight edge metalcore band? Was it A, A Lot Like Birds, B, True Story, C, Arma Angelus, or D, Blind Impression?
I know this answer, and I don't know any. I've never actually listened to the band. I just know it for whatever reason. I don't know why. I've heard him talk about this band before, like reference it in band
like interviews. Yeah.
It's Arma Angelus, I believe, is my final answer. Arma Angelus. I don't know how you even.
I probably pronounced it wrong.
But yeah, that was the only band name I recognized on there.
Okay, so that is correct. And
I've heard him say it.
So, fun fact about that band, people always talk about it being Pete's band, but not a lot of people talk about how Tim, the frontman of Rise Against, was also in the band.
Oh yeah, yes, that is very true.
Fun fact.
There's a lot. Chicago has a lot of history. Like, I love Chicago bands. Mm-hmm. Like, they have that cool. Like, you grew up in Jersey, and I grew up, like, not far from Jersey, and, like, that scene.
That scene's amazing, but completely different vibe.
Chicago had their own shit going on, you know what I mean? And a lot of bands at different time, like Braids from Chicago, Alkaline Trio's from Chicago, I forget. You had a question the other day about a band from Chicago, or the last Who Wants to Be a Scene Kid. I forget who it was, but anyway, yeah. Tim from Rise Against. And Rise Against is a good band. Like, when they first came out, I was kind of like, Rise Against, whatever. But listening to them now, dig them.
Yeah. Good as far as, like, radio rock.
Yeah. You know, I never really, like, they were too successful for me. Like, they got really successful when I first heard about them, and I was like, they're on the radio. I was like, I don't like this. But when I go back and listen to them, I'm like, oh, this is Rise Against? Oh, this is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, to note, the one band I mentioned, Blind Impression, you never heard of them before?
Never heard of them.
So that was the Story So Far's OG band, and that's when they were in high school, and they actually got one of their songs on the one video game Skate, the EA Skate.
No shit.
Yeah. That was like their claim to fame before the Story So Far.
No shit. Is the lead singer in that, Parker or whatever?
Yeah, he was the lead singer of them.
He was the lead singer? Damn. Are they still a band?
Who? Story So Far?
Yeah, not.
I would assume so. They put out Proper Dose. I did an interview with Sam Pura of Panda Studios. He did a majority of their albums, but the last thing that he did with them was Proper Dose, and I haven't heard anything since then. Besides, Parker put out a side project called No Pressure, I think last summer, which was super dope. So if anyone hasn't listened to that, go check that shit out. But yeah. Cool. Wait, off the record, I remember you fucking saying, I am done with the Story So Far. These guys.
Oh yeah,
from the dodgeball tournament.
At our dodgeball. Yeah. They like were complete dickheads to everybody, like our whole staff. We gave out trophies. I think they won it, and they took their trophy and like smashed it in the parking lot. And then Parker was like being a tough guy in the fucking restaurant that we took them out to lunch after, and like they were being hold on, the whole band was being cool, but Parker was being a fucking little whatever. You could leave this in.
When he showed up to the dodgeball tournament, he tossed a rag at me and said, "Start polishing that trophy."
Oh my god, he's a character. I've heard he's calmed down a little bit now, but
dude, they're one of my favorite bands. I don't like.
Yeah, I love the band. I was like, he was just a super dick. I've only met him a handful of times, and that one time, like, he was like Megazord dick. That day, I was like, okay, dude.
But to be honest, the story so far isn't really a GK band anyway, in my opinion.
No,
so.
I mean, we worked with them and shit. Like, they were on our tour for the Wonder Years thing. I'm cool with like Will, their guitar player. I think Will's still in the band. I'm so out of it. I don't know. They're all great dudes, you know. But yeah, Parker was just being a dick that day.
That was kicking girls off the stage era.
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot that.
He was wild. All right.
I've seen Buddy from Census Fail drop kick people off stage. I don't know, dude. But hold on, no. This is so wrong to say that Buddy drop kicked somebody. He didn't. This girl crowd surfed, got on stage. He had his back to the crowd, didn't see it happen, and she's like selfieing on stage, and he taps her on the shoulder, grabs her phone, and throws it into the crowd. And I watched that happen, and then he like lightly like pushed her to go back to crowd surf out. When I watched him grab her phone and chuck it, I was like, that was legendary. Dude,
that is such a Buddy Nielsen move. Census Fail is like top tier for bands for me, and I just love seeing Buddy just being Buddy.
Buddy's a wild dude. I fucking love Buddy. His story's crazy too. Like everything he's gone through in life, and he's a scene mainstay. You know what I mean? Like that band's gone through everything. He's gone through everything, and like
fucking. But, what are your thoughts on drive-through bands in general?
Depends on the band. I mean, drive-through was definitely an era. You know that Richard Raines took advantage of a ton of kids and signed them to shitty deals, but like, hey, it was he ushered in a new era of this music. I actually walked on his back once. You know about the infamous.
No fucking way. I know, because I had an interview. Do you know the band Madison?
Yep.
So I did an interview that I never ended up posting with the lead singer of Madison, Steven. Do you know Steven?
Yep.
So
I don't know Steven personally. I might have met him before, but
yeah. So he was telling me some stories about like he had like this really close friendship with Richard and Stephanie. And he said, I never had to walk on backs. I never had to give foot massages. It was super weird whenever I came over to their house. They had fresh socks waiting for me, and I'd have to change my socks for them.
Into fresh socks.
So wait, what's your story with that?
So so that's funny, because Madison really was one of those bands that drive-through, they were always rumored to sign with drive-through. Like when I was in high school, it was like, Madison's going to sign with drive-through. Like they're linked to them. And then drive-through put out a different label called Rushmore Records, I believe.
Yeah.
And then put Madison on that.
That was because they were bought out by Geffen, I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
so
you are correct.
It was like their loophole to like keep the bands that they thought that were going to blow up.
That's interesting. And that makes a lot of sense too. My story is my friend's band in high school. I was always like, I couldn't play any instruments, so I was always like, all my all my friends who were in bands, I was their manager. AKA, I would design like flyers. I would take all the photos, videos. I would do all that shit. Like I was the media guy. So somehow we got in touch with Richard on MySpace or something.
Wait, what was the
and
band?
He was like, 8 Arms That Hold You.
Okay.
Or 8. Such a horrible band name.
Sounds very of the time.
4-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a screamo. It was a harder Census Fail.
Okay. Sick. I want to check them out.
Anyway, so, oh my god. Anyway, I don't even know if you can find it. You probably could on like Pure Volume if that still exists. Or anyway, we go. We're like we're sending their EP to everyone. Richard hits us back and he's like, "I'm in Jersey. I'd like to meet you guys." And he was staying at a hotel in Hoboken. So we drive down to Hoboken one day. We're trying to call Richard from the lobby. We can't get a hold of him. Finally, we see him because I knew what he looked like from drive-through shit. Like, that's Richard. So we go up to him. It's like, "Hey, Richard, we're 8 Arms That Hold You." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Come on up to my hotel room." He's like, "I'm going to show you guys. We'll listen to your record." And I mean, it was, shit, this is so long ago now, but it was something along the lines of, he's like, "All right, you guys know what you got to do. You've heard it before." He's like, "Which one of you guys are going to walk on my back while I listen to your EP?"
And you're like...
Yeah, I was like, fuck, because it was such like common, not like people knew that like you got to walk on Richard's back or else he'll never sign you.
What was the,
you know what I mean?
What was
like,
the whole thing behind it? Was it like a weird fetish
like
thing?
a back massage. I think it's a fetish. I don't know.
How old were you?
As a kid, 16, 17.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And everybody in the band, we were around the same age. I think the oldest dude was maybe 19, 20. So, but nothing weird other than that happened. It was just like, hey.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he crossed any lines, but he was very close.
He had 5 teenage young men in his hotel room listening to music while 2 of them rotated walking on his back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know if he's never had any sexual allegations against him, I don't think. And for that to be that widely like known that he's into feet and like I've heard about the sock thing too. From numerous people. I've heard about the walking on the back thing from numerous people. It's like whatever. Now it's just something I can tell my grandkids. I walked on the owner of a record label's back once, and nothing came of it.
So when you met him and he asked you to walk on, or he asked the band to walk on his back, what was the reaction?
We knew he was gonna ask. We were probably in the car joking, like you think he's gonna really ask us to walk on his back? Like when he actually said it, it was like, of course he was gonna ask that. Like we already knew. You know what I mean? Like there was no surprise because it was such common knowledge from like hearing around from other people. It's like, yeah, if you want to get signed to drive-through, everybody's got to walk on Richard's back. Like it's just something you got to do. And like you, like how I took it in my head, it was like a rite of passage. Like you got like he's gonna humiliate you to do this random thing that like makes no sense.
Yeah, is it like fraternity hazing kind of in a weird way?
I don't fucking know. In my brain, I didn't think anything sexual of it. It was just like this weird fucking thing that he asked you to do. And now as I've gotten older, I'm like, well, maybe that is a little odd to ask teenage boys and like early 20s boys to like, you know, walk on a 50-year-old man's back.
Well, put it into this perspective. Say you started Glamour Kills back up. And you're putting out applications, or you're putting out shit for LinkedIn and stuff, and people are like, "All right, I wanna work for you," and you're like, "All right, cool, let's do an in-person interview," and then they come over, and you're just like,
just no.
How bad do you want?
I know where you're going.
How bad do you want to work for Glamour Kills? You gotta pass the test first. You gotta walk on my back first. It's like,
Mikey, you interned for us. You should know what it takes to get in, get a foot in the door.
I'm not gonna say what I had to do. All right, getting back into this. Marky, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. The year's 2007. Oh, yeah. The year's 2007. Who did not tour with Plus 44 on the Honda Civic Tour? Was it A, The Academy Is, B, Snoop Dogg, C, Paul Wall, or D, Fall Out Boy?
There's definitely a hip-hop artist that was on that tour, because I feel like Blink was trying to do that, and I think that was the beginning of Travis trying to be like, yo, we should get more. He was trying to branch off too. Shit. Okay, this is question 9, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I was gonna try to save my last lifeline for number 10, but I feel like this is my my phone a friend's alley.
Okay.
And right in his wheelhouse. So I'm gonna text him and ask him to jump on and to help.
Let's do it
with this one. I feel like this is it. Let me text him real quick. But Academy is.
So, were you a fan of Plus 44?
Not really. So around that time, like, what was their first single?
When Your Heart Stops
maybe
Beating.
Their only single. Baby, when your heart stops beating, I mean, that's breath taken away. I was just so butthurt that Tom wasn't in the band. A lot of people assume because my name is Mark that Mark's my favorite. I do love Mark. Do not get me wrong. But I love Tom's songs the best. I love Tom-fronted songs better.
You know what? I did a lot of like reading behind like Blink lore, and I found out some crazy shit. You know, are you a fan of the Untitled album?
Which one is that?
That's the one with like Feeling This, I Miss You and stuff, the smiley face.
Yes. So when it came out, I was kind of on it, but now when I listen to it, I'm like, I fucking love this.
Yeah, definitely their most experimental album. But I read that between Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Tom forming Boxcar Racer, and that album, the reason why that album came out the way it was because Mark was so butthurt that Tom did Boxcar Racer without him, that he was just like, all right, we got to do something experimental for the next Blink album. Because the whole reason why Tom wanted to do Boxcar Racer was because he wanted to do something a little bit more experimental than what Blink was currently doing.
Yep.
So
that makes sense, though. I mean, it's funny because as far as like the glue of Blink, oh my God, there he is.
We got Gunz in the house.
What's up, buddies? How are we?
If you don't know, now you know.
What up, baby? It's the Gunz Show. Let's go, my man Marky here.
Yo,
Pop Punk. What's up, buddy?
Let's go, baby.
We just phoned you in because we have a question, and Marky's a little stumped. You might be able to help us. So, yeah. So you think you're a scene kid? You think you could get this next one right?
All right, I'm here to help out. My man tagging me in. My tag team partner tagging me in right now. Marky, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
No pressure, Gunz. No pressure. I got starting my poster, my Taking Back Sunday, the used. I can't blow. I got Paramore up there. I can't blow this. I can't blow it.
He is the true pop punk historian. I was like, if I have one person be my lifeline, it is Gunz. I was like, he was made for this.
What? Oh, man. God, so much pressure. Okay. I'm ready to rock. Ready to roll. Rock and roll, baby.
Let's go, Gunz. All right, so the year's 2007. Who did not tour with Plus 44 on the Honda Civic Tour? Was it A, The Academy Is, B, Snoop Dogg, C, Paul Wall, or D, Fall Out Boy?
Wow. All right, now this is wild. Okay, so Honda Civic Tour. So now you got to think Honda Civic Tour. I'm thinking that, of course, kicked off with you had Good Charlotte and Newfound Glory did it the one year, which is wild. You had the year before, 2007, by the way. 2006 is when Plus 44's album comes out. So they're still like kind of getting the buzz, they're getting the hype and stuff. I feel like, first of all, Paul Wall, I haven't even fucking thought about Paul Wall. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's like, I know Fall Out Boy has done a Honda Civic Tour. I feel like the Academy would have. You're screwing me though with Paul Wall and Snoop Dogg because you want to be like Snoop Dogg did to a Honda Civic Tour. Right, Marky?
I feel like a rapper would have been on one.
Right. And Paul Wall, I don't even know what the fuck, Paul Wall. Yeah, I feel like a rapper would have been on one as well. So I think Snoop Dogg is almost like goading us into saying it. So let's not take Snoop Dogg. I know Fall Out Boy definitely. I'm visualizing the flyer, and I'm sure Fall Out Boy did a Honda Civic Tour.
Wait, so is this the plus? They were the support for Plus 44 on this one tour?
I believe it was either. Oh well, I can't give it away. Can't give it away.
They played any Honda Civic Tour. It was
that same year though, 2007.
It was the 2007 package.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, that's what I was clarifying. Okay. I think it's Snoop, but I don't know.
I feel like he's goading us into saying Snoop though, because it's just an obvious that it would be. What about Paul Wall, man? Like Paul Wall's so random.
But think about that time, like Snoop, I think would be too big to do it, and Paul Wall might be like buzzing at that point, and
I hate myself. This is a hard question, man. First of all, you're bringing up 2007. You're bringing up a Honda Civic Tour, and there's been so many of them. But what's wild is Snoop might have been, but was Snoop still crushing it? Remember, Snoop kind of went down for a couple years, and then kind of reemerged with Beautiful and stuff with Pharrell and stuff, and came back up and stuff, or Drop It Like It's Hot, you know what I mean? That kind of reemerged Snoop. So and it's Honda Civic, so there was money involved, and and Fall Out Boy did do it, and Fall Out Boy was a pretty massive band, and I feel like they would throw around those packages and stuff, you'd have a Linkin Park with so and so, those type of things.
Yeah, I remember Panic did one maybe a couple years later, and Academy might have been on that one. But then I also can't see a tour where there would be two rappers, where it'd be Snoop and Paul Wall.
Right.
It's got to be one of those two, in my opinion. It can't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. If we're gonna lose, I wouldn't want to lose on a pop punk person, because I know Academy and Fall Out Boy had both done them. Now, listen, maybe we're the assholes because they didn't do it that specific year, but I'd rather not choose them and just be like, oh fuck it, we messed up on that. This is a hard question, man. I think, all right, listen, we got to go with one of the rappers. We both agree on that.
Yeah.
Are we going Paul Wall? It's dude, I can't even name, I haven't even thought about Paul Wall, dude.
This is why I phoned a friend. I'm putting the pressure on you, so that if it's wrong,
yeah, then you're good. Yeah. Fuck. Now, is this for the $1 million, though? Is my man going to lose $1 million right now?
Question 9. So we're in the hard questions right now. Plus 44 only did a few. I think they only did 2 tours and then a couple festivals here and there. And so this was when they were touring that record, this was it.
Marky, I kind of want to go Paul Wall. I know what you're saying about that era and stuff, and I could see him being the buzz and buzzing at that time. But I feel like he's goading us with Snoop, because if you remember, Snoop did fall a little bit and would have done random ass tours, and then until Drop It Like It's Hot came out, and then that kind of pushed him back up. So I kind of want to go Paul Wall. Is that all right with you?
Do it. I trust you. Let's go Paul Wall.
All right, final answer. What you got to say, my man? Final answer.
Paul Wall, final answer.
Gunz, that your final answer?
Final answer. If it's not right, I hate myself. And Marky's never going to talk to me again.
How do you feel about that?
I might not talk to Gunz after this if it's wrong.
How do you feel about that?
I'm very upset. I mean, listen, if I lose my friendship with Marky over Paul Wall, I will never forgive myself.
Well, Gunz, I gotta tell you something. That's wrong. It was Snoop Dogg. I baited your ass.
Oh my God, Marky, you called it. Oh, you trickster, bro. Oh. Marky, I failed you, man.
You did, dude.
Hang on, can Gunz help me out for number 10? He'll just be my honorary.
Yeah, this is fun.
Man. Wait, so it was Snoop Dogg on that tour, huh?
No, Snoop Dogg wasn't on the tour.
Snoop Dogg wasn't on the tour.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Paul Wall, I mean, if it makes sense though. I feel like Paul Wall was popping at that time, and Travis Barker's always with like the new one-hit wonder rappers, so it kind of makes sense. Dude, I actually wish I went to that tour.
Academy and Fall Out Boy touring at any time throughout their career is awesome, but also throwing Plus 44 because that was on, Blink. What's gonna happen with Blink? They go and do that, or Hoppus goes and does that with Travis and stuff. That would have been fun to see. Fuck, man. And then Snoop, like, yeah. Well, I mean, no Snoop, Paul Wall, but fuck, man. Marky, I failed you. God.
No, it's fine. God. It's fine. It's fine. It's not like I've
literally
like
lost DJ LeMahieu. I'm hitting like DJ LeMahieu right now. I'm blowing it.
I haven't even put on the Yankee game tonight. So don't even. Knicks, baby, though. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Let's get number. Yeah, we'll perform like the Knicks for number 10. So go for the number 10.
There we go.
The final question, guys. You ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, so who did Hannah Beth not date? A. Trace Cyrus of Metro Station. B. Josh Peck of Drake and Josh. C. Robert Pattinson from Twilight. Or D. Derek Whibley from Sum 41.
Wow. Okay.
And like I said to Marky before, Hannah Beth was number 2 on Glamour Kills' MySpace top. So
you were on the Wayback Machine looking at that must have been when we were doing like collabs with her.
Yeah.
Like she was an influencer before there was like influencers. Mm-hmm. And like we had her wear GK and stuff like that.
That was a smart move.
Shit. So Trace Cyrus, right? We know Gunz. You know that, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, how much of this is public knowledge, and how much is just like, oh, they hooked up like after an after party?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
No, this is public. I looked up pictures.
So Trace is. We know Trace is fine. I mean, I don't really know their. I honestly, man, I do not know this. I mean, what are the odds? So Trace is out because we know Trace is at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's Robert Pattinson. Who else?
Robert Pattinson, Josh Peck, or Derek Whibley.
I feel like did she date
Sum 41?
Derek, yeah.
Yeah, I that sounds like it could be. That makes sense. Who's the third guy? Josh Peck.
Mm-hmm.
What is he from? What is
Drake and Josh from Nickelodeon?
Yeah, like how would
honestly, I'm going to say Robert Pattinson, but that's my gut that they didn't actually date because but maybe they did. I don't know. Those old scene gals used to find their way, you know. Damn.
And Robert Pattinson was, up and coming. Obviously, Twilight just completely blew him up and stuff.
Yeah,
and
during that time.
A lot of those scenesters loved the Twilight and the vampires and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
So it leads me to believe that maybe Derek Whibley from Sum 41 is the bait in this. That he's not, because he would have been old. He is older,
right? And he was with Avril for a while. I mean, he was married to Avril Lavigne for a while, but we're also talking back in like MySpace days as well. So like,
yeah,
or like, yeah. This one's on you, Marky. I do not know these the love life of these people. This might be a total shot in the dark. It's up to you.
I'm going with Derek Whibley from Sum 41. I don't believe they dated.
Final answer.
Final answer.
And I baited your ass again. It was Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
Damn it! Damn it! Should have went with Robert Pattinson. I knew that was too big of a celebrity. I should have went with my gut. That's too big for even Hannah Beth Merritt shows.
Listen, this is awesome. Definitely keep in touch. Let me know when he goes up and stuff. I'll promote it. And yeah, dude, this is fuck. I'm so mad I let you down, Stoop Dog. I'm not. Listen, here's the thing though. We will always remember this for the rest of our lives. I will never forget that Paul Wall was on the tour because I'll always remember that from now on. Yeah, I'll always know that he was on the Honda Civic tour.
Useless information.
Guys.
Peace out, Gunz.
It'd be good pickup lines at the bar when I meet like an emo person.
Gunz, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna tell a story that somewhat kind of involves you right after you leave. So this way, when you listen to it, you'll be like, I gotta listen till the end to hear the story.
Well, I'll listen to the whole thing. So, all right, guys, rock and roll. Marky, let's get to a game soon, man. Peace.
All right,
peace out, Gunz. All right, let's hear the story.
All right, to close this out. So me and Gunz still does it, but there's this the booking agency that used to represent GK started doing these Emo Night Brooklyn shows.
Yeah.
At the what the fuck is it called? It's a bowling alley.
In Williamsburg.
Oh, Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's a huge event that they do down in Brooklyn. And for I was involved with it for the first 5 shows where I was a guest DJ. And these shows were fucking wild. So me and Gunz still is a resident DJ for the events. I don't do them anymore, but he does. So maybe the third one, we always they always booked a celebrity, a scene celebrity to be the main DJ. Mm-hmm. And you brought up the drive-through era before, and it's so funny. I think about how I later became friends with Gabe and gotten to know a lot of bands I idolized. And Kenny Vasoli from the Starting Line was the headlining DJ one night, and me and my buddy Vinny Vegas, I had just moved out of the city. I moved back to Beacon. It's right next to Newburgh, where I'm originally from. Our family's from, and me and Vinny were living together, and I was like, Vin, I'm DJing tonight down in the city. Do you want to come with me? I was like, well, we'll either crash down there or drive back up, depending on whatever. So, actually, no, this was my first time DJing now, because I got buck wild. We were taking shots. They gave us free drinks, free everything. It was like, oh shit, okay. So I'm DJing, having a great time, blah 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 blah. Does Gunz go before? It doesn't matter. I get off the stage. Kenny goes up. We're still drinking, partying, whatever. And me and Vinny look at each other and we're like, dude, we're both wasted. We drove down here. How are we getting back? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, wait. Because I told him, I was like, if things start to go a certain way, I have an app. I can find a hotel room. I'll get us one for the night. But it only lasts up until X amount of time. So we both realized that we're not going to make it. We're not going to get a hotel room. And I'm parked. My fucking hatchback Volkswagen Golf is on a side street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And we're like, dude, we're just going to sit in the car. And I was like, all right, fuck. And I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit. It's 2, 3 a.m. And we're walking back to the car. And we are both turned up. And Kenny's just standing on the corner, waiting for somebody or whatever. And he's about to light a blunt. And we're like, yeah, what up, Kenny? And I was like, oh, you remember me from Warped or whatever? And Vinny toured with them during All Time Low, something or other. And we just end up smoking a blunt with Kenny randomly and shooting the shit for 40 minutes, 30 minutes. And it was at that moment, I was like, yo, I'm high as fuck talking to Kenny from the Starting Line. I was like, 16-year-old Mark would be like, this is fucking epic. So at some point, me and Vinny make it to my car. He goes in the passenger seat, I'm in the driver's seat. All I remember was having to puking at... okay, now I'm going too far with this story. It got wild. And me and Vinny woke up in my car at like 8 in the morning. People looking at us, like, who are commuting to
just
work.
Walking down the street.
By. Oh, it was a hot mess, but it was so worth it because it was like one of those things where it was like, damn, I was like, we got to bro down with Kenny for a bit.
You're like, worth
cool.
it.
Yeah. That's so
worth
cool.
sleeping in the car.
I don't know why I had to tell that story, and Buddy Nielsen at the last GK Holiday Fest, but I wanted to say this before. He was like, can I MC the fest? Like, introduce every band. Like, he was going to go up and be like, and next we have... We were like, do we have to pay? He was like, no, it's all good. He's like, but I want to propose to my girlfriend before whatever. And we were like, all right. So
that's cute.
But he proposed to his now wife at our holiday fest.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
And the reason I bring this up is because Starting Line and Census Fail were like two huge bands for me.
I didn't even know you were a Census Fail fan.
So people are, my friends are all like, yo, Mark finds all the bands. And like, I got my friends into like, I quote unquote found Census Fail on mp3.com or whatever fucking site it was back in the day. Or like, I'm like, yeah, like Pickle and all them think like, yo, Mark found Yellow Card. I'm like, I didn't really find Yellow Card. Like, yes, I did, but like, there's a lot of other people too, so calm down. But yeah, I low-key love Census Fail.
So when did you, was there an era that you like, kind of like stopped listening to them? Because they went through like the hardcore phase, they kind of, you know. Like, so if they put out a new album, would you listen to it?
And not now at this point. I mean, I would, just out of like love for them. Like, I'd check it out. Mm-hmm. But like, I wouldn't like, it wouldn't be something I'd put in a rotation of something I'd jam. But I love the EP because I found that before they actually signed a drive-through and it was still like demos.
Yeah.
Then they came out with a full length. I forget the name of it.
Let Unfold You.
Let Unfold You. And then I really am like jumping around here. Like when I heard whatchamacallit on Guitar Hero, I was like, oh, this. First I saw the music video and I was like, this fucking rips.
Yeah,
like,
it can't be saved.
Can't be saved. I can't drum, but
yeah, that's it.
I get so hyped. I'm like, oh my god, like that's some of the that album, whatever album that is.
Still Searching. Yeah, that album's my favorite by him.
Dude, that album is banger to banger, front to back. Awesome record. But yeah, that's my
Never knew that. Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands too. I mean, To All the Crowded Rooms is named after one of their songs off that album. Yeah. So, you know, got love for them.
I fucking love them. And Buddy. And nobody else is an original member of that band.
Have you listened to his new podcast?
No, but I've seen people talking about it. Or him and I follow Buddy on Twitter, but...
So basically, it's an album, or it's a podcast that talks about like the guests that come on the albums that like were most influential for him. So it's got like a theme to it, you know what I mean? So like the one I listened to was Nick from Man Overboard. He came on and he was like, Millen Collins' one album was the one that like was like super influential for me. And
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. He always has good guests. Like, it's dope.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I wonder what Millen Collins album it is.
It's the one that has No Cigar, the Tony Hawk one.
Penny Bridge Pioneers. Best record. I fucking love that record.
Nice.
I jammed it today at work, actually.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
It's timeless.
After I checked it out, I was like, yo, listen to this now. I can totally hear the influence on Man Overboard sound from this record. It's cool.
It's funny. You find yourself at a certain point in life going backwards and discovering bands that influence the bands you love. You know what I mean? Like you backtrack and figure it out. And then you get all the way down to Elvis Presley and you realize this is where rock and roll was born, baby.
Yeah, right? Let's wrap this up, Marky.
All right, yeah, let's call it. I'm losing my voice a little bit.
I think it's safe to say you're a scene kid. And did you have a good time? Did you like the questions?
I did. I'm legit sweating, and like the lights in here and the beanie are making it hot, but I'm worried about my hair, so I don't want people to see what my hair looks like under here.
That's very seen of you.
It is. I'll let them see it anyway.
There we go. Dude, our family has
rock.
Our family has good ass hairlines.
Some of us. Yours is better than me. I'm a little bit older than you. Damn, it looks like I've been in the pit. Yeah, I am a scene kid.
Nice. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Me and Marky, we're going to do a full podcast interview talking all things GK in the future, so stick around for that. Thank you for anyone that's lasted this whole video. You know we like posting that long content for you, so a lot of you guys stick through the majority of these videos, so I really appreciate that. Word to all the crowd rooms. Thanks for watching, guys.